Let's talk about shifting the summation index of a power series. Shift the summation index to rewrite this power series. Summation n goes from 0 to infinity of a sub n x to the n plus 1, plus 10. Summation n goes from 0 to infinity n b sub n x to the n is one power series, whose general term involves x to the k. Okay, what's the problem? Why can't you just add these together? Notice that the first series has x to the n plus 1 here, and the second series has x to the n. You can't easily add those together. It's like adding feet and meters. It's not going to work. You need to convert one to the other. Okay, so in that first series, summation n goes from 0 to infinity of a sub n x to the n plus 1. We're going to substitute k equals n plus 1. And we're doing this so that this will just be x to the k. And then we can add the series. So in other words, k minus 1 equals n. So every place you see an n, replace it with a k minus 1. Or if you see an n plus 1, replace it with a k. So the n becomes a k minus 1 here. This n becomes a k minus 1. This n becomes a k minus 1. This n plus 1 becomes a k. Now, k minus 1 equals 0. That's the same thing as k equals 1. So we have the sum as k goes from 1 to infinity of a sub k minus 1 times k minus 1 times x to the k. Okay, we can rewrite this. So now now that we've rewritten that first series, let's add all of this together. So notice this is x to the k, this is x to the n. So let's just we can rewrite all of this. So we end up with summation as k goes from 1 to infinity a sub k minus 1 x to the k plus 10. Summation n goes from 1 to infinity of n b sub n x to the n. We're just going to replace the n with a k. I mean, why not? Let's be consistent. So in this second series, just replace the n's with k's. And now, we end up with this series that I've got here. So now, going from this first series is just copied from the previous page. So now, we can combine stuff. We can just combine this. We can just make all this one series. It's just going to be the summation as k goes from 1 to infinity of a sub k minus 1 plus 10k b sub k x to the k, because now the coefficient over here is just all x to the k.